All right, Shane. Well, hey, speaking of the Florida Gators, they're the next team on the docket. The WinBet has set their over-under at 7. Now, here's the schedule again. We've talked about it. Utah, right out the gate at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're a slight favorite against Kentucky at home. South Florida at home. Nice little home stretch here to open. But then the Gators go at Tennessee. That'll be a tricky one. Come back home for Eastern Washington. That'll be a pick-your-score type game. Missouri at home. LSU at home.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got 2 weeks to prepare. You got Georgia in Jacksonville. At Texas A&M. Ooh, we're getting tough now. South Carolina at home. At Vanderbilt. At Florida State. So 7 is the over-under for the Florida Gators. Which way you leaning, Cousin Shane? Over or under 7?
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't put that bye right there between Georgia and A&M. You know, just give them a week to, get their stuff together. I hate to say it, man, but and Florida Gators, I think they got the right guy. You know what I'm saying? And they got players. I don't want you to think that the Florida Gators have no talent on that roster. I mean, they have plenty of talent. They got NFL talent down there, but it's a rebuild, man. I mean, you hear Coach come out. I mean, they are stripping this thing down to this nuts and bolts, and that's what they're going to do is put this thing back together and create a new winning culture. And when doing that, it takes time. And unfortunately, some fans don't have time. We're impatient. We want wins now. And I just don't see a favorable schedule for the Florida Gators right now. Like I mean, how many times I got to tell you, I have no confidence in the Florida-Kentucky game. Tennessee, Florida. I mean, if you want to talk about a year for Tennessee to have a leg up, it's in Neyland this year. So I'm looking at that one. You can't mark off Mizzou because guess what? They beat you last time, So LSU, by this time, you're a couple of games in. So they found theirself. You found yourself. You get a bye, and then you got 2 of the best programs in the country back to back. Georgia, A&M. Does that create some sort of hangover going to playing South Carolina? So the more I dissect this schedule, the more I don't like it. I think better days are ahead for the Florida Gators, but I just don't think they reach 7 this year, brother. I think it's all they could do to get to a bowl game. So give me the under, and I'm pretty confident in this one. I'm going to say about 68% on this guy.
Ooh. I could tell you wanted to go 69, but you held back.
I did. No, I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
actually, let me go a little higher. Let's go 71. I haven't played around. I'm feeling pretty good about. In fact, that may be their record at the end of this thing. No, I can't do that. 6 and give me what would that pan out to be? 6 and 6, 66%. That's how confident I am.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, we talk about this right out the gate, Shane. I mean, Utah, Kentucky at Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose our fans here from Gainesville, but
hey, but we don't pander, Mike.
I would not be stunned if Florida lost all those games, right?
Yeah.
And if they do lose those games, they're not beating Georgia and they're not winning at A&M.
Right.
There's your 5 right there. You've lost. So again, I'm not saying you're going to go 0-3 in those marquee games. I think there's a very good chance you're going to lose 1 to 2 though. Let's say they lose 2 of them. Again, I mean, this is such an uphill climb to get to an 8-win campaign.
Yeah.
In Billy Napier's first year. Now, he's said it. He's on record many a time. We're going to attack the portal. We're looking for players. A coach that's out here campaigning for transfers to come to your program, he ain't happy with the depth. He ain't happy with the talent. Now, can I go out on a limb and say this guy's going to win 8 games after all these statements? No. And maybe my opinion changes once I know who they're getting in the portal. Maybe they're getting some elite players from other conferences ready to come in and contribute in the SEC, and that could change where I got the Florida Gators. Again, the 7, we've had Zach Goodall from Sports Illustrated on the line. He covers the Gators. He says 7's the number. I agree with him. That's probably what Florida will win. But again, we can't be pushing on this program. So
right.
I'm right there with you, Shane. I'm going under. I don't have a ton of confidence, not as much confidence as you. I'll go under $55. I just think that's the safer bet until we know who Florida's getting in the transfer portal, until we know how they start the season. And, one other wild card, Gator fans probably don't want to hear this either, but there's so much hope and anticipation for Anthony Richardson. And hell, I thought he looked amazing too right out the gate. I was, my God, why is this guy not your starting quarterback? You may be able to win the SEC with this guy. But we've only seen that in about 2 or 3 games against lowly competition. So Is that what we're going to get for a full season? I don't know. If we do, yes, Gators will hit the over. But if that was just a flash in the pan, we ain't hitting it. So I don't know what to make of the Florida Gators right now, but I'm slightly more confident that I still think they're going to go to a bowl game. But like you, Shane, I think 6-6 is a safer bet than 8-4 at this point in time.
Yeah, and if I'm a Gator fan, I am saving these clips, brother, and because I'm going to tweet them at us because like you said, if AR-15 comes out and showcases who he is and just takes the world by it's just there's always that possibility. There's always a possibility one of these teams aren't as good as we thought they were. There's a chance Florida Gators just steamroll the first. I mean, maybe we are. Maybe, Kentucky and Tennessee. I mean, they're still kind of in our heads. You know what I'm saying? There's still that factor when you play against these programs that we're not. We're used to losing to these guys. So if they can placate toward that, watch out, man. Florida may just surprise. It may be our biggest surprise in the SEC, but. We're talking gambling here, man. And if I got to put my money on it, put my money where my mouth is, I'm just more confident that it's more of a down season than it is a good season. But like I said, that's what off season's for, man. We just guessing right now. We're going to find out sooner or later exactly how good these boys are.